In chapter 21, it describes how Bali Maharaj agreed to give Vamanadev 3 steps of land, and the Lord took everything in 2 steps, and he wasn't able to offer more. So then the Lord bound him with the Varuna Pash, the ropes of Varuna. Because he couldn't fulfill his promise. So the Lord bound him, sent him to Sutala Loka. He went from the heavenly planets to the hellish planets. There's 7 planets above the earth. Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, Janalok, Mahalok, Tapalok, Satilok. And there's 7 planets below the earth. Attala, Atala, Tala, Rasatala, Patala, Sutala. There's the 7 planets, the subterranean planets. And he was on the top and he went to the bottom. What goes up must come down. A rise precedes a fall. One who goes up must come down. When Vamanadev stuck his foot through the top of the universe, and Brahma bathed his foot with his kamandalu. Vamanadev is known as Urukram, a wonderful actor. This water that came off of his feet became transformed in the Ganga. In chapter 21, text 4, Vishnu Chakravarti describes 3 origins of the Ganga. One is the water that washed the feet of Vamanadev by Brahma's Kamandalu. And the second origin is in the 5th canto. The Ganga began when Vamanadev's left foot pierced the covering of the universe. Because at that time the causal ocean, the Krsna Samudra, leaked through and entered this universe and became known as the Ganga. And the third cause of the Ganga, origin of the Ganga, is that Lord Narayan himself appeared as the water of the Ganga. Therefore the water of the Ganga is a combination of 3 transcendental waters. And because of this, the Ganga is Narayan, the Ganga is Krsna Samudra, and the Ganga is Vamanadev Charanamrita. Because of this, the Ganga is able to purify the 3 worlds. In text 5, it describes this expansion of Lord Vamanadev. So there's 2 lilas going on here, Aishvarya Mayi Lila and Madhurya Mayi Lila. From the small form we went to the big form, back to the small form. First, Vamanadev expanded himself to the universal form, Virata Rup. Then he reduced himself to his original form, Vamana Rup. Thus he acted like Lord Krishna, who at the request of Arjuna showed his vast, gigantic Virata Rup, universal form, and later assumed his original form, Dvibhuj Krishna. The point Prabhupada makes in the purport that the Lord can assume any form he likes. So Vamanadev resumed his original form and human-like form to reciprocate in love and accept worship from his devotees. So Madhurya Mayi Lila, this is Nara Lila, where the Lord is approachable. He's near to us. His form is human-like in proportion to the human beings, not some vast, gigantic, untouchable, inconceivable, unthinkable form, distant, vast, omnipotent form, full of power and opulence. This form is not very sweet, not very accessible, but in Madhurya Mayi Lila and Nara Lila, human-like Nara Rup, Vamana Rup, is only 4 feet 4 inches tall, It's easy to be near the Lord. It's easy to touch the Lord, relate to the Lord, speak to the Lord, worship and serve the Lord in a very sweet and intimate and confidential way. And in this form, the Lord accepts the personal loving worship of His devotees. So in order to reciprocate with His devotees' worship, Lord Brahma wanted to worship Lord Vamanadeva. So to accept that worship, he abandoned his Aishwarya Mayi form of Virat Rup and adopted his Madhurya Mayi Vaman dwarf form, the dwarf Brahman, so he could accept the worship of Lord Brahma. Very interesting point in text 8. It mentions some of the different personalities that were taking part in the Vamana Puja along with Brahma. And one of them was a character named Jambavan, who is the Riksha Rajatu, the king in the form of a bear, or the king of the bears, Baluraj. This Jambavan is described that he serves the Lord throughout 3 yugas. This description here in 8th canto, chapter 21, verse 8, describes that Jambavan as serving the Lord in Satyuga, serving Lord Vamanadeva in his Bali Maharaj Vaman Lila. What is he doing? It says that he's joining in the ceremony, sounding his bugle in all directions. He declared a great festival for Lord Vamanadeva's victory. Apparently he's Beri Shabde. Beri is some type of bugle, which apparently it's his bugle, and he blew it loud and clear to announce the Maha Utsav in all the directions, Sarvadikshu. Again, Jambavan appears in Treta Yuga and Ram Lila. He assists Ram. He's one of the bears that join all the monkeys, Sugriva and Hanuman, to attack Lanka and fight with Ram on behalf of Ram against Ravana to retrieve Sita Devi. Jambavan is there in Treta Yuga. Then again, Jambavan comes into Dwapara Yuga and Krishna Lila. So Jambavan is in Vamana's Lila and Satyuga, Ram's Lila, Krishna's Lila. And Krishna Lila, he fights with Krishna over the Shamantaka jewel in Dwarka, outside of Dwarka, Satyajit's jewel. And then he realizes after 28 days that he's and can't win, and the Lord can't win either, but Jambavan's getting so tired. So he realizes that none other but his Lord Ram can defeat him. So he recognizes Ram in Lord Krishna and feels very happy and thrilled, and awards Krishna the Shamataka jewel, and then also happily bequeaths his daughter Jambavati to Dwarkadish. Krishna happily accepts the jewel and the jewel-like daughter Jambavati, and she becomes one of the principal queens of Krishna and Dwarka. So in this way, Jambavan also serves in Dwapara Yuga. When Bali Maharaj did this, surrendered to the Lord, became bound with the Lord, then all of his demoniac allies and soldiers, they became very angry with his surrender, and then they raised their weapons and attacked the Lord, the associates of the Lord. All the associates, the bodyguards or the personal associates of the Lord, they were just smiling. The Lord at that time, Lord Vamanadeva, was surrounded by his associates who were the gatekeepers of the 7 gates of Vaikuntha. There are 7 gates entering Vaikuntha Dham, each planet, Vaikuntha. The planet has 7 gates. Like the old cities in India, they had different gates. If you go to Mathura, there's Holy Gate, there's Dig Gate. There are different gates there, big arches, and there used to be 7 walls around the city. Or you go to Ranganath in South India, there are different gates or gopurams and walls surrounding the temple. At each one of these 7 gates of Vaikuntha, there are 2 gatekeepers. So at this time, in Indraloka, Vamanadeva was surrounded by 14 gatekeepers, and these 14 gatekeepers, they were smiling when they saw the demoniac associates of Bali attacking the Lord, so they immediately raised their weapons, attacked these enemies of the Lord, Bali's demoniac soldiers. Naga Ayutya Pran, that each one of these gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, they were as strong as 10,000 elephants. They're like Maharatis, Atiratis. Then the first gate of Vaikuntha is protected by Nanda and Sunanda. And the second gate is Jai and Vijay. Or maybe Jai and Vijay are at the first gate, I'm not sure. But the different gates, in one gate there's Sanda and Sunanda. At another gate there's Jai and Vijay. And at one gate there's Prabala and Bala. Another gate there's Kamud and Kumudaksha. Another gate there's Vishwaksena and Patat Trirat, who is Garuda. Another gate there's Jayanta and Shrutadev. And another gate there's Pushpadanta and Satvata. So these 14 devotees, they killed all these soldiers of the demons. Bali Maharaj saw all of his soldiers being killed, and then he preached to them. He said, listen, this is not a good time. The time is not favoring us right now. Providence is not in our favor. We won't be victorious here. Everyone should stop. Well, somehow the demoniac soldiers came to their senses, and they stopped attacking the Lord and stopped being killed by the Lord's gatekeepers. Chapter 22 is Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. Lord Vamanadeva was pleased by the behavior of Bali Maharaj. Then he placed him on the planet Sutala and agreed, in the introduction here, it says he agreed to become his doorman. I didn't see the word doorman in the Sanskrit, but that term is generally told. Sanskrit said that he lived with him or was an associate of Bali. Maybe somewhere it says he was a doorman. Anyway, he was there. So this is chapter 13. He surrenders his life. That's all he had left. He promised 3 steps, and 2 steps all he owned was taken away.